Hey guys, Mona here. Welcome to my channel where I talk about all things mindset and weightlifting. And today I am going to be talking about the difference between the muscle snatch, and I'll discuss the contact muscle snatch versus the no contact muscle snatch, and the power snatch, and where they fit into your program. So stay tuned. Now, when it comes to the muscle snatch, you might have seen some athletes perform the muscle snatch by brushing against the hip, so muscle snatch with contact, and some athletes might be doing muscle snatches with no contact, and most often that is like coach preferred, so it depends on what your coach likes doing, and maybe how he was taught or she was taught, and that's normally the way the coaches teaches the athletes as well. The muscle snatch with hook grip, and then you'll get the muscle snatch with no hook grip. And generally the difference between the two is just the one with no hook grip obviously just requires you to have more of a grip, so you'll be doing a lot more grip strength work, and obviously that will just help you build more grip strength and muscle at the end of the day. Now with the power snatch, if we're talking about the power snatch from the ground, there's just one version, although you can do things like power snatch no feet, power snatch from hang, power snatch from blocks, but we won't be covering that today. We are just going to be covering the traditional power snatch from the ground to the overhead, contact of the hips obviously, and just be talking about the difference between the two. Now when it comes to the muscle snatch versus the power snatch, now some people might wonder, I mean, if you have been doing weightlifting for quite some time, you will know the difference. But if you are a beginner level athlete, or maybe you're a coach and you want to explain this to your athlete, the biggest difference between the power snatch and the muscle snatch is where you catch the bar. So with a muscle snatch, you will still be doing the movement from ground, just like how you would with a power snatch. But the only difference is once you start pulling and you get that full extension, the legs will then stay locked and you will catch the bar in a tall, locked position basically. Whereas with the power snatch, it's an explosive movement. You will jump out with your feet, but you also catch the bar in a power position, or how some people might call it, anything above parallel or anything, 90 degrees and higher is then still called a power snatch. Now, if it comes to programming wise, why do the muscle snatch and why do the power snatch? Firstly, I just also wanted to say these two exercises are popular for all level athletes. So that includes beginner level athletes, intermediate level athletes, advanced level athletes, master level athletes. It doesn't matter what level athlete you are. Both of these movements have a time and place in your program, and that's why they are both so important and they serve different purposes. Whereas like with the muscle snatch, it will be like what the name actually suggests, it will be a muscle movement. So it's a strength building movement to get you stronger. You will not be able to lift as much weight with the muscle snatch as you do with the power snatch, because with the power snatch it's dynamic, it's fast, it's explosive, and obviously you will be able to handle a lot more weight with the power snatch than what you do with the muscle snatch. But the muscle snatch again is also a great movement for teaching beginner athletes bar path, so how the bar should move from the ground to the overhead without making it too complicated and without adding all the extras like jumping out with the feet, reaching triple extension, all those kind of things. So it's just having the athlete learn how the bar should move from the ground to overhead. So it's a very good movement for beginner level athletes with regards to learning the bar path and just teaching them to get fully extended before they actually pull and then obviously extend and lock the arms. Another great thing about the muscle snatch is it teaches the athlete to have high elbows and not drop the elbows in the muscle snatch, because obviously an important thing with the snatch is you want to get that full extension, but you want to also make sure that you pull those elbows as high as possible, and then you'll rotate or pull yourself under the barbell. So obviously if an athlete goes too heavy with the muscle snatches, the first thing that you will see happening is the elbows will tend to drop. Before they start, they'll rotate really low and then push themselves, kind of under the bar, or just, push the barbell up. So generally when that happens, you do want to just decrease the weight and make sure that you focus on technique rather than just going and muscling the movement and not doing it properly, and then obviously it will not transfer really well to your classical movements like your snatches or your power snatches. The power snatch is also a great exercise to do if the athlete is battling to, maybe you are a intermediate or advanced level athlete and the athlete tends to cut their pull a bit short. It's a great exercise to do, because now obviously the athlete have to pull themselves higher, because with a full snatch or the classical snatch, and because the weight is so heavy, the athlete will pull the bar basically just to basically hip height, obviously with a shrug, and they will pull themselves under the bar really fast. But if the athlete tends to cut their pulls short a bit, a great exercise to drill into their program is the power snatch, because this will teach you to fully complete that pull. And obviously because you have to pull higher and pull yourself under the bar, because you land obviously a lot higher, this just teaches the athlete and emphasizes that completion of the pull. And also with regards to the power snatch, you can't go again as heavy as what you would with a full snatch. So it's also a great exercise to do to kind of just have the nervous system rest a bit, not go as heavy, working more on technique and speed, rather than, making the athlete go super heavy all the time. But generally also speaking, like the power snatch, and this is a rule of thumb, because a lot of people will ask, when it comes to the power snatch, what is the ratio between the power snatch and the full snatch? And again, rule of thumb, every athlete is different. That depends on the athlete's strengths and weaknesses. But you can normally snatch up to about 85-90% as a 1 rep max power snatch of your full snatch. Like I said, every athlete is different. Depends what sport you come from. It depends how strong you are. This can all vary, but that is just a general rule of thumb, or around 15 to 20 kg difference if we're working in, kilogram metrics. But yeah, with muscle snatch, again, compared to the power snatch, you will be going again a lot less, sometimes working just 40%, maximum 50% of your 1 rep max snatch, because the muscle snatch is obviously a lot harder. You want to build muscle, you want to build technique, you want to emphasize those those technical cues, like keeping the bar close, keeping the elbows high, and obviously not rebending the legs in the muscle snatch. So just in conclusion, the biggest difference between the muscle snatch and the power snatch is the catch position. And like I said, also the other two differences is, in a muscle snatch, you will be going a lot less or a lot lighter than what you would in the power snatch. The muscle snatch, on the other hand, is a muscle movement. You catch it in a tall position, where with the power snatch, it's an explosive, fast, dynamic movement, and you catch the bar in either parallel or above parallel, or in a 90-degree angle. And both of these movements are great, again, for all level athletes, from beginner all the way to advanced. They have a time and place in your program. I won't neglect either of them. I feel that both of them are really important, although I would do muscle snatches, for example, if I'm close to competition, more as like a primer to warm up for my power snatches or full snatches. And then obviously the power snatches you can continue to do up until, really close to competition, because it's very similar to your full snatch. And like I said, it also gives the nervous system a bit of a rest. You don't go as heavy. And also the other thing is with the muscle snatches, if you do want to do a training cycle where you really push the muscle snatches and want to build that extra strength, I would do this, way out of competition. It could be like 12 weeks out before competition, or even longer. I will do maybe a cycle where I push the muscle snatches. but when it comes close to competition, maybe just every now and again, I would include it into my program. Guys, I'd love to know in the comments below how the muscle snatch and the power snatch has helped you as an athlete. And it doesn't matter what sport you come from. You know, you could be a weightlifter or a crossfitter, or maybe coming from, you know, American football or soccer or whatever you come from. I would love to know how these two movements have helped you in your sport. And also, guys, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, ring that notification bell, and I will see you in the next one.
Oh, you make me wanna talk back to you.